What's up, guys? Matt back again with another video, and today we're going to be discussing one of the Ichiban Kuji that I've lately reviewed, which is Ichiban Kuji Dragon Ball Super Koko ni Kiwamareri, and today I'm also joined by Super Dorian. Super Dorian, why don't you say hello to the people?
Hello everyone, I'm really glad to be here and have this discussion on this OG Kuji set.
Before we dive into the video, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell, like the video, comment your thoughts down below for us to discuss, follow me on my socials, and consider becoming a YouTube member to enter into our monthly giveaways and Discord server so our community can help you on your Dragon Ball figure collecting journey. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being here, man. I know you've, I don't know how long it's been, but I know back in the day I would see your comments all the time, and I do read all the comments.
Yeah, I know.
And I try to respond to as many as I can. And, you know, I recognized your name for a long time. So when you eventually joined the Discord server, it was pretty cool to see. You know, we're obviously building a community, so it's always nice to see like familiar names. And, you know, I can't see your face. Your face is Super Saiyan Goku on my screen, which, you know, it's pretty accurate to what you really look like. From what we've seen in pictures on Discord, because y'all in the comment section don't know, but this man is like, he's a big man. Like, he looks like Goku, like straight up.
I'm trying. Yeah, Dragon Ball has big influence on working out and this stuff. So yeah, it's always good to trying to achieve bigger muscles and better shape, just like they did in the anime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been collecting for a couple years now, and yeah, when I discovered your channel, you know, from you, I knew this Master List line, which I got really fond of as well, because they are really nice, super nice. So yeah, it was really nice to join the channel because the community there is really awesome. So if anyone is hesitant to join, I highly recommend that, because there are a lot of like good people helping each other on figure collecting stuff and other general topics. So yeah, it's a really good community. I'm really happy to be part of.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate hearing that. That means we're doing a good job. And I remember back in the day, I used to look like you, but now I'm old and tired, and I like to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch for breakfast sometimes. So I don't drink egg whites out of the carton anymore. So that's behind me. I'm okay with that, though. As long as I still go to the gym and take care of myself for the most part, it's fine. But let's stop talking about the gym for now, and let's talk about this Ichiban Kuji set. So obviously we talked a little bit before the call, and you know, I was kind of curious as to what your history is with this set. Did you pick it up when it first came out, or did you not know about it when it first came out, or what was your history with this set, and how did you go about in collecting it?
Yeah, so basically I do not own the whole set. So I only have the Super Saiyan Goku from it. And basically how I found it is, that set from 2020, The History of Rivals.
Yes.
Included the exact same Goku, like reused sculpt and everything. Just an interchangeable head between the base and the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan form. And like a couple months ago, I was really into, just looking up all the Kuji sets. And when you dropped that video explaining Ichiban Kuji, you included all the Master List sets, and that's where I recognized, oh, there is a Super Saiyan Goku of these variants. And I'm being a huge fan of Super Saiyan. I think it's the most iconic transformation in not just Dragon Ball, like all anime history.
Yeah.
I wanted to get that figure, so I made my ways and I got him, and I was pretty pleased with the outcome. Because the e-moving Goku, I've seen it in person at one of my friend's place, because he had it. I was like, damn, this looks really good. Yeah. Only if they have a Super Saiyan of that.
So is Super Saiyan your favorite form in Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's really nostalgic, because when I was a kid, I was watching Dragon Ball with my brother. We had all these VHS cassettes, and we're watching it going from kindergarten and school straight to my grandma's place.
Yeah.
Because that was closer than ours, so we didn't miss the episodes, and some of them were recorded for us. And back then it was broadcasted the Saiyan saga and the Namek saga. So essentially that was like the main part that I watched. And even like beginning of the Android saga, like when Vegeta showed up and turned into Super Saiyan the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Namek Goku is really him.
Yeah.
To say, and that whole build up and transformation and fight with Frieza is just so iconic. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really a nostalgic factor as well for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think a lot of people would agree with you that it is not only one of the most iconic transformations or moments in Dragon Ball, it's historic in all of anime. I mean, there were newspapers in America being published when Goku was fighting Frieza on Toonami. So, I mean, I didn't realize that when I was a kid, but now that I'm an adult and I'm a big, very passionate about Dragon Ball, you look into this stuff. But why don't we start in talking about the three Gokus in this set? So, I mean, I know you only have the Super Saiyan, but you pretty much have all three when you get at least one of them, because they're all very similar. I think the one that's the one that's the most different would probably be the base form. But let's talk about the Super Saiyan Goku. Since that's the one that you own, why don't you give your overall thoughts and maybe a rating for the figure?
Yeah, that's fine. So, like my as I'm looking at the figure right now, I'm holding in my hands. So basically, what I really like about this figure is this dynamic pose. It's like you mentioned in the review that you made of these figures, that it's a pretty, like, so say, generic Dragon Ball pose when they are powering up and releasing their ki, which is just makes really a cool figure in my opinion.
I agree,
because it's really a huge part of the anime, and makes it a cool looking figure for this specific pose. And the paint application, the shading is just top notch. It's really nice how they painted and shaded the figure, especially like the Super Saiyan has these darker oranges at the top of the hair and going into a lighter one, really emulating that glowing ki effect. And the sculpt quality is really outstanding. I really like how the wrinkles are on the pants, and how they made the muscles on Goku. So, and in a way, it's kind of unique because this is Goku from Super, obviously.
Right.
So he has the kanji on his gi, like the Goku kanji.
Yep.
And the belt doesn't have a stash, so this is like the standard wear for Goku, except for the Resurrection of Frieza arc.
Yep.
Which is quite cool because we could not see it in this set of clothing in Dragon Ball Z. So that's what I really like about it. I know that you mentioned in the review that open mouth figures can look goofy sometimes. Yeah. It's easy to mess up. And I've seen some of those in real life, but they like, this figure doesn't have that issue. It really looks good, showing that powering up anger that Goku has. So if I would rate this, like we need to take consideration that this was the second Master Release set.
Right.
So obviously, like, there's not enough Goku figures that you can own. I think most of us could agree on that.
I agree.
Yeah, so I would give this a solid 4.5 out of 5.
Nice.
My only issue, and if I want to like bring all three under one umbrella and talk about all three all together, I think one issue that this figure has is his ears. Because his ears, I think it's a little bit too big and too like rounded, like a C, like has way too much bend at the middle. I don't know how to really describe it, but if you compare it to like newer Gokus, one from the Brave or one from the Crash set, the Super Genki Dama one, you could see that these ears are a bit bigger and more like C-shaped rather than just a smaller regular looking ear. It's mostly visible on the base form because it does have a black hair, and I think it more brings out that he has kind of a big ear. But the Super Saiyan and the Super Saiyan God doesn't really have that issue because it's like a lighter color and the hair is a bit different, and all those bangs are really in the way of the ear.
Yep.
Because I've seen those, like the e-moving. I've seen it in person, so assuming it's exactly the same. Just they made the head interchangeable. So that's why I could say that basically I've seen all three figures, but that would be my only issue, that the ears are a bit too big. But overall, really good figure.
I agree. I think I forget if I gave them a 4.5 or a 4.5 or just a 4 when I reviewed them. I'm always making content, so sometimes I forget unless I know for sure like something is like a 5 out of 5. I always forget kind of what I gave them, but regardless, I think he is kind of in that range too. All three are kind of interchangeable, and I like that you pointed out that detail, because I feel like some people don't notice that in Dragon Ball Super, most of Dragon Ball Super up until the Broly movie, Goku doesn't have the sashes on his belt outside of the Whiski. Obviously it's kind of this toss up as to, what's your favorite form. I think if you want to be objective, the Super Saiyan is the most detailed of the three. It has shading in the hair. It has everything the other two have, but it's the only one with shading in his hair. The blue form does not have it. They just kind of went with the blanket color, and then obviously it's hard to do shading on the black-haired characters because shading usually is emulating light and stuff. But something I wish they did do is they maybe tone down the shading on the base form, actually, because he's in his base form, he's not lit up in golden or blue like the other forms. But I think from a likeness standpoint, they look really good. That's the one thing that's truly different besides the hair itself between the Super Saiyan and the base forms, because the base form, they gave him like slightly rounder features and gentler features because he's not as angry in his base form. But the sculpt is solid, and like you said, even though it is a generic powering up pose, it's something that a lot of characters do in Dragon Ball, and usually it's pretty cool, and it translates really well for a museum style figure rather than, maybe them just standing there and doing nothing. So they do have quite a bit of personality. But I think I agree with you. The Super Saiyan form definitely stands out of the three. I like the blue form a lot, but like you said, this was the second Master Release set, and the first one just before this had a blue Goku. It had a Super Saiyan Goku, but the Super Saiyan Goku didn't even have shading like this one for the hair. So it is really nice to see things like that. So I highly, I fully support your opinion on that, and definitely if anybody's a fan of Dragon Ball Super or Goku, and he's the main character, you can never have enough Goku figures, man. Like, there's so many cool moments and cool forms and cool outfits that Goku wears throughout the whole franchise. Like, whenever they put Goku in a Kuji, I'm like, duh. And if they make it unique, I'm like, hell yeah. So, I'm all about it. Even though the whole Kuji is basically Goku, like, still all about it. But even though I know you don't have this figure, and we're big fans of Goku, and we're always down for, new Goku forms and figures, there was one in this set that I got first before any of the other ones. And the UI Goku in this set, man, I think it's likely, maybe not the worst. I'd have to think about it. Once I recollect everything and I have a complete Master Release collection, I'll be able to give a definitive opinion. But so far, this is definitely the worst Master Release figure I've ever picked up. Like, he looks like he was dropped on the head, and I know I make that joke all the time, and Goku has been dropped on the head in the series, but like, he looks like if a human was dropped on their head as a child. And this is kind of the product that you get, and there are good things about it. Like, he's got really good shading in his hair, and usually when it comes to these metallic colored figures for their hair, they just put a metallic paint job and they walk away. They're like, done. But there is some shading in there, which actually highlights it, and I wish they would do that more often for Ultra Instinct figures, and I wish they would just do more Ultra Instinct in general. It's my second favorite form. But Yeah, I think there's just too much wrong with this figure, and I know you've probably watched the review. Do you have any thoughts, just from an outsider looking in on this UI Goku?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, it was released back in 2018, which is when the Tournament of Power
Yes.
saga was airing. So I'm pretty sure they did this after the Ultra Instinct transformation, because otherwise it would be a huge spoiler in term, like they'll bring it in a figure.
Yeah.
So like choosing this form is obviously the greatest idea they could have done, because it was trending, it was all over the place. The fight between Goku and Jiren was really good, like one of the best moments in Super, if not the best. So marketing it was really, really good. But yeah, the execution of this figure is really, really poor. Like the main issue is the face, obviously. So like, yeah, as you said, it's been dropped on the head. It just like they messed it up so big with the face, and if you mess up the face, then it doesn't matter like how good the paint, the shading, the sculpt,
I agree. Yep.
all the aspects. If the face is messed up, then the figure is bad.
Yeah,
Straight
it's human
up bad.
nature. Like we're so used to looking at faces, so like that's where your eyes are usually going to go first on any humanoid figure. Like you're going to look at the face first, and if it looks messed up, you're going to kind of be like, what the heck is wrong with this thing?
Yeah.
But
So
go ahead. Yeah.
poorly executed. I don't even know how it got through like the quality control. Like I don't know how they're making these figures. Like if there's a prototype and they say that this figure looks good, it can go to mass production. Like what the hell? Why didn't they say like just redo the face? Like the figure is fine, redo the face.
And they did that. They ended up doing that eventually, because they basically re-released this as an e-moving in the Dragon Ball Legends set. So they ended up doing that. I'm like, why did you wait like almost a whole year to do that? Like, what was the thought process?
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess the thought process was, oh well, we have this, Goku Black in this set, so people are gonna try and pull tickets for it anyways. This could be like a filler figure or something. I don't know. They might have still been figuring things out. I think you were the one who mentioned like, Bandai might have just been figuring things out when they started things with Masterlies, which, it's so different nowadays with the characters that we see and that we get and the quality behind them. It's almost like they're completely different than when they started.
Yeah, exactly. Like I do believe this, because the memory set, like the very first, was pretty good.
Yeah.
Figures came in whole. This is another aspect that I really like when they releasing the figures like one piece.
Yep.
I know it is glued together, but at least they're coming like one piece in the package, which I think just makes it more quality than when you need to put them together. Sometimes it don't quite fit that well, or maybe he have these type of issues. But yeah, like the first set with Goku and Vegeta, obviously like the two main faces of the franchise. Especially in Super, Gohan has been really put on the side for the most part.
Hopefully not anymore.
Hopefully not anymore. Because we really like Gohan. It's like a community. I stand by that. So yeah, like giving like the two Super Saiyan forms, like the regular one and the God, the blue one, it's a really good idea. Again, people can pick like which they like most. So like let's say like I like the blue one, then I'm gonna get the two blue forms.
Yep.
And same goes for this set. Like there are 3 Gokus on the exact same pose, different hair and different form. And yeah, people can just pick whichever they want. And I think that was kind of like their idea to release Goku's, because Goku is the main character of the franchise and stuff. And now they completely switched this mindset. They're releasing like other characters, so collectors can really dive into this line and try to collect their favorite arcs, sagas, or just set of like dioramas and fighting teams, in different arcs.
Yep.
And like there's much more variety, not just only Gokus and Vegetas, but more like villains and characters from the films.
Yeah,
stuff.
even small characters like Kui or
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. I mean, I don't consider Mr. Satan a small character. I think he's very important, but it's cool seeing even him like nowadays.
Yeah. He was really clutch in the Buu saga, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he even helps with Cell. Like, if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have tossed Android 16's head over to Gohan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
people
that's
forget
true.
that Mr. Satan's always been kind of, a clutch character, and he has like some of the best character growth. But let's not get too sidetracked. Obviously, UI Goku kind of sucks. What rating would you give him if you had to give him a rating?
I have to give him a 2 because of that face. Is there
And the
so-
body. The body sucks too. Like the proportions, man. They're so bad.
Yeah.
He looks
And the hair
anemic.
is really cool. No, sorry, the hair is looking really cool, but yeah, apart from that, like the face proportions, you said, just way off. Like looking at that figure in a whole, it's not a good eyesight.
Yeah, and I have him right here on my shelf with my 2 Memories figures, and I think every time, like, he's kind of hiding behind them, so he does still stick out like a sore thumb. So hoping to swap him out and put him somewhere else sometime soon. But I think I gave him somewhere in the 2s, maybe a 2.5 or something. Just not good. But sometimes you're gonna get some bad ones, and you know what? It's cool to have some bad figures in your sets, like my sunburnt Master Stars piece Gohan. Because you can laugh about it or just use it as a learning lesson. Like, look, we had it so bad at some points, and look how good this is in comparison. But let's talk about the last figure in the set, which I think most people would consider the best one in the set, which is probably why it's kind of considered a holy grail figure. It goes for hundreds of dollars as compared to where all the other figures in the set you can probably get for $100 or less. And that is the Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. I've obviously shared some pretty strong thoughts on this figure. I was pretty happy to get him and add him into my collection. He's actually on the shelf here with the 3 Gokus representing the Goku Black arc. But Super Dorian, what do you think about the Rose Goku Black?
Yeah, so I've seen your review, and another couple members who have this figure shared their pictures and thoughts on that. And yeah, just looking at it, it's really, really amazing. Not only that, they did like one of the best villains in Dragon Ball Super.
Yep.
And
probably like the only villain in Dragon Ball Super.
Oh yeah. Yeah, kind of like in Tournament of Power, everyone just fights for their own.
Yeah,
universe.
no one's really like a bad person besides like Frieza.
Yeah. And Frost, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it looks really, really good. The colors and the pose and the face that they did for this figure, and we don't have much of him other than some Crane figures and the Grandista ones.
Yeah.
It's really underrepresented, so I think that's another reason why this figure costs that much.
Yep.
But apart from that, it's really, really well sculpted and painted and delivered figure. So I would agree that this is the best one out of the set because it's just so unique and so well done. And
I think that means a lot coming from you because I think you are a self-proclaimed Dragon Ball Super hater. So.
Hater might be a bit too harsh, but yeah, I definitely don't like Super that much. I feel like all of characters have been ruined in terms of like personality, and the story sometimes doesn't just add up. And yeah, it was really, really hard to continue it because we know that Toriyama likes to make stuff up on the
as
go.
he goes. Yeah. Yeah, well, you can tell that that rushed production and everything really even hit the story and the characters. I think things started to turn around a little bit during the Goku Black arc, but I think it was really the Tournament of Power that I think where Dragon Ball Super started to kind of fix itself. But then it ended, and then we got 2 movies, and the manga's ongoing, and I think we've had one really good arc in the manga, and you know.
Moro arc.
Yeah, the Moro arc is pretty great. The Granola arc I have very mixed feelings with. And then we spent a whole year recapping Superhero, which I love Superhero. I know you don't like that movie, but that's my second favorite movie. But I didn't need a whole year of the manga recapping it and not adding anything new besides a nice little slice of life story with Trunks and Goten. But but I agree with you, man. Like Goku Black is probably my second favorite villain in the franchise. He's just, I like his story. I like the concept and the design and the involvement with Zamasu and the Kais, like just really cool. And I know that whole arc, like, for the most part, is pretty good up until the end. The end is terrible. But Goku Black is iconic, especially here in the United States. I don't know about Hungary, and I don't know about Japan, but he must be popular in Japan because, like you said, they made so many Crane figures. And for this to be one of the only Master Lee's Goku Black figures, I think, like, this is the only Master Lee's Goku Black. Every other one is from Super Dragon Ball Heroes, so technically he's the Crimson Mask Saiyan. He's a different character on a technicality. So I do hope that when Super figures come back, I don't think it's happening in 2024, maybe in a couple years when they're starting to get ready to bring Super back. But I hope when they decide to start bringing them back into Ichiban Kuji, we start to see, like, a base form Goku Black. I wouldn't even mind if they reuse some of the assets from this figure because it's been so long and it's such a great sculpt and has so many great features that if they borrowed some, I wouldn't be mad.
Totally understandable.
Yeah, we've seen that with even like Dragon Ball Heroes 5th mission, like the legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Like everyone loves that, even though the only difference is his head. But people love it, and I mean, I know there's the Broly factor, which we should just make a whole video discussing something like that. The Broly factor in merchandising, like some of my highest viewed videos are either Goku or Broly. Like people just love Broly, man.
Yes.
But I do love Goku Black. I love this figure. Yeah, I think he's S tier. He's definitely a 5 out of 5 for me. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 5 out of 5. S tier figure, no doubt about that. One thing is that if someone doesn't like some particular aspects of the story, it doesn't really deduct points from a figure that if that figure is really, really well done and
or if it's a well-designed character, because Toriyama, that's what he's best at. Like his manga paneling is really good, but the way that he designs characters is also fantastic.
I really like Super. The manga is much better than the anime. I agree.
Even though we kind of glaze over Battle of Gods and Resurrection F.
Yeah. Because in the manga, Goku Black turns into Super Saiyan with the yellow hair.
Yeah, and they only go back to the future. They go twice instead of 3 times, like in the anime. Which I was like, why are we doing this 3 times?
Yeah. The story in the anime was a bit sloppy, I think, and they really corrected some of those issues in the manga. So that was a really, really well added detail. And in the manga, in the anime, he only turns into Super Saiyan Rose. So it's kind of cool that they did that in the manga, that he's able to turn into Super Saiyan because he has Goku's body. But the concept of this villain is really, really nice. The Zamasu as well, the design and the ideas behind his actions. I kind of like that one. It just, the execution wasn't the best. But
I agree.
This figure is top tier. That's for sure. I hope we're gonna get some more Goku Blacks because he lacks, so it needs to be delivered to the fandom. In Master Lee's forms.
Yeah, see how people go crazy over him in Dragon Ball Heroes. Like, it's a no-brainer to bring some of the more notable Dragon Ball Super characters into Ichiban Kuji again. But it seems like Bandai just wants to focus on other things for now. I'm sure they'll loop back on Dragon Ball Super once. They probably want the fan base to like not be so sour on some of the memories behind Super and just lighten up and miss it a little bit more before they bring it back. So it will be back. Dragon Ball Super is still ongoing in the manga, and they're working on another movie right now. They probably just want more material to adapt so that they don't end up doing what they did when Super came out with a six week production cycle, which is pretty terrible. But let's start wrapping things up. Let's go ahead and do our tier list for the set, and then we'll give a final ranking for the entire set.
Yep.
Super Dorian, I've already shared mine. I'll just quickly go through it. I did it over a live stream, but just so people know, obviously in last place we have the UI Goku. After him, I have the Blue Goku, then the Base Form Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, and at the top we have the Rose Goku Black. And I think I would give this set, personally, I think it's like maybe a 3 out of 5 at best. Like the Rose Goku Black hard carries this set, but because the UI is terrible and like the 3 Gokus are just, they're all separate prizes, and you know, not many people are going to want all 3. You know, it just kind of brings it down a little bit. And I know, like you said, this was older, they were figuring things out, but I don't care. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. So my ranking would be like almost the same as yours. Only I would swap the base and the blue Goku.
Oh, so you would put the blue Goku higher than the base form?
Yeah,
oh, because of the ears and stuff.
Yeah, because as I mentioned that on the base it's more noticeable, and yeah, the ears is like only aspect of the figure that's kind of bugging me out a little bit. But for the Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue, it doesn't really look that bad. Looking at the figure from front, and also that blue hair color is really nice. I really like it. It's a lighter one, really pops. So that's why I would put that one. But the rest is I completely agree.
Pretty much the same. Yeah, it's not that hard of a set to rank. I think it's like most people kind of carry the same opinion. I think there's going to be some people that differ here and there. But I think for the most part, people, if they look at it objectively, it's kind of the best thing. And and then like with the 3 Gokus, like I can't really argue against it because like it just depends. You can swap them around; they're all pretty much the same figure. So what would you rank this set? What kind of rating or a rank would you give it?
Rating, I would like. Since I would give it a 2.5, but
wow.
Since it's just an average, right?
Yeah, so like, mid, right in the middle. Average.
Yeah, but since this was the second one, I would give him a 3 because of that fact, because they were still figuring out. The Gokus are nice. The Goku Black is definitely a top tier figure. So I would give it a 3, just a bit above average. Well, if this set came out like nowadays, I would definitely rank it like a 2 or 2.5.
Yeah, I agree.
At best, because it's really lazy in terms of like character selection.
Yeah.
So,
if this came out in 2024, I think I would put it in like a D tier section. But I think even back then, I would probably still give it like a C tier, just because it's like 3 Gokus that are essentially the same prize. Like that's not as interesting or fun. But well, I appreciate you talking about this set with me, man. Hopefully you enjoyed this conversation, and I would love to have you back on and talk about another set in the future.
Yeah, for sure. The pleasure was mine. It was really nice. I really like to talk about like Dragon Ball General, and also figures with enthusiast people who also collect. So thank you very much for having me in this discussion. I really enjoyed it, and I would gladly join another sessions in the future for sure.
Very cool. And if I ever make my way to Hungary, I'll know who to hit up. But
hit me up for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll go to the gym.
For sure.
See who has a better squat. But I appreciate everybody tuning in, and please let us know down in the comment section your thoughts behind the set. But until the next video, guys, we will see you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.